It's Memento ASMR, and I'm back with another video. Today I am going to be going over this week's vocab. This week was kind of combined with last week's vocab because we kind of started a unit midweek, which is very rare for us to do because we're usually one unit per week. But yeah, I really should give a name to this series that I have. Probably try to come up with something and just title this as number 1, since it'll be the first from having a name. But maybe I'll just put them all in a folder or a playlist. But yeah, so today I'm going to be talking about lesson 8.1 TEKS 7.13b, and as always I'm going to have my monitor here in the back, so I'm going to be looking away from the camera. I still tend to not really focus on the camera as much, but I guess it doesn't really matter because the audio is what matters the most. But, so yeah, this was lesson 8.1, targeting TEKS 7.13b, which is the student is expected to describe the hierarchical organization of cells, tissues, organs, and organ systems within plants and animals. So yeah, we did move on to a new chapter. We are no longer learning about like the earth and changes of the earth. We are now learning more about the biology side, which I'm very excited for because it was one of my favorite topics when I learned about, science back in middle school and high school. But yeah, I'm also have the wind cover this time. I did watch a video recently where I was whispering, I believe, and I think that the noises could have been a little bit too abrasive sometimes. So hopefully this is a little bit less harsh, but my last few videos did have more engagement, more likes and comments, and some people subscribed, which is really nice and very motivating. So hopefully I can continue to upload consistently. But yeah, anyways, I know I was going on a tangent there. Back to the vocab for the week. The vocab for this week, we only had about 7 words. So not that many compared to previous weeks. But yeah, first word is cell, which is the smallest unit of life. Next we have a hierarchical organization, which is a system of organization that begins with the simplest level and each level becomes more complex. Next we have cell differentiation, which is the process by which cells become different types of cells. So here, for example, it could be a blood cell, bone cell, nerve cell, a neuron, a sperm cell, just any of those. We have next tissue. We have a group of similar types of cells that work together to carry out specific tasks. And actually with this word, a lot of students were very shocked that plants have tissues. Now, of course, I have a lot of English learners, so some of them were like, tissue, like they thought the tissue like to blow your nose, which is a common misconception with English learners, because they would assume the tissue, the thing that they're taught to say whenever they need to blow their nose, that it is nothing to do with a plant. But yeah, next is organ, which is a group of different tissues working together to perform a particular job. A lot of students are very excited to learn about different organs and what they do, and I'm very excited because we have an experiment that we usually do for all the body systems, so it's pretty exciting, and I'm looking forward to teaching that, just because I don't know, the curriculum that we have at my school, it does have experiments and labs, but they're pretty bare bones and not really exciting. But the ones that we do for body systems, me and my co-teacher, we have been using for the past 4 years, and although it is not part of the curriculum, it does supplement it pretty well. Next we have organ system, which is a group of organs that work together and perform a specific task. And lastly, we have organ system, which is anything that has lived or is living. Now, I do have testing coming up this week, so unfortunately I don't have the kids every day, and this week we are actually starting to review for my class's district test, so it's already not as much teaching, just more so going over stuff that the students really did not understand. And today we were given access to the blueprint for our test, and there's a lot. Oh, the audio ended up cutting off, but good thing I noticed when I did. So sorry for the jump cut. That's probably gonna be in the video. But as I was saying, we have testing coming up for our district, so we are currently reviewing that. That's why we don't have as many days of actual instruction. It's more so just catching up. But yeah, lots of stuff has been happening at work, just behind the scenes, things that are changing in my district next year, and just things that I gotta be mindful of when thinking about, long term and my job, and if I want to, do a different grade level, a different school, a different district, because I've been teaching at the same school since I got hired there after I graduated from college, and I have yet to do anything different besides that. But I don't know, lots of stuff happening with, the district that makes me think that maybe I should be open to, potentially changing schools, or, maybe even changing just grades. But, yeah, lots of drama. But in other news, I should say, I'm only a few weekdays until my next break off, which is spring break. My spring break falls in about, I want to say, a week and 4 days or so. So it starts next Friday. So I think I'm going to have to cut it there because there's lots of noise happening in the background. So I hope you all had a good and relaxing night. Take care, and hopefully I'll see you very, very soon. Until then,